Hey guys, I'm Mickey from Tom's Outdoors. Now, we're here today on the Tumut doing a bit of nymphing. We've pulled up at this really nice nymph run here. It's got good even current, it's deep, and there should be fish sitting in the bottom of it waiting to eat some nymphs. Now, if you want to learn more about nymphs and how to rig them, jump over to our indicator rigging video and you'll learn how to do this setup that we're using today to fish with. So, to start off with, when we're fishing nymphs, one of the most important casts we can use is a roll cast. Because this rig has a lot of hinge points, it's got an indicator and two nymphs, it tends to get tangled on things, just like it's getting tangled in my fly line here. So the tighter casts that you do, those really nice tight loops you might throw with a single dry fly, don't tend to work too well with these type of rigs. One of the best casts you can do is the roll cast. So when we come to a nymph run like this, the way I like to fish it is to break it down into lanes and fish those lanes, just like you've got lanes on a highway. So at a run that's about, 12 foot wide like this, I might break it up into 3 different lanes. So I've got the inside lane here, the middle lane over here, and the far lane right across the river. Now, that'll give me a good chance at covering any fish that are sitting in this run. And fish at the moment, there's going to be a little bit of a hatch on. There are some nymphs moving around. We've already seen a few fish rising. They should be pretty active and feeding. So if you put a nymph within a couple feet of a fish, he's probably going to see it and eat it in this scenario. Now, when I start on my first lane, I do my roll cast upstream. And then as it's drifting back, I'm just going to strip slowly and pick up the slack. Always keeping a sharp eye on that indicator. I hope you guys at home are keeping an eye on that indicator because I can't see it right now. As I go across into my middle lane, I put a mend into the line, keep my rod high, and I strip a little less. Now, when I get to the end of my last drift here, my nymphs are well over in the current, almost downstream of me. What I like to do is give it a little bit of a jiggle with the rod tip. Now, that'll move the nymphs up in the water column and almost make it look like they're hatching. They'll swing around. And that can induce a fish that didn't like a nymph drifting past it normally to come and grab that fly. Now, one of the most important things to keep in mind when you're indicator fishing is to keep an eye on that indicator. If you see anything funny, a big bounce underwater or a stop or a move across stream, strike. That seemed a little silly, but you need to strike as hard as you possibly can. You want to strike hard and often. Your strike, if it isn't a fish, should turn into a big back cast, because then you can just lay it straight back down on the water and keep fishing. Now, once you've fished your 3 lanes, instead of pulling off more line and trying to cast further upstream, use the same distance of line, but move yourself 3 or 4 steps upstream. That way, when you go to cover these lanes, you're covering fresh water. And when you get to the end of your drifts and you do your little jiggle or your rising Ling lift or whatever you want to call it, you'll induce different fish to take each time. Now we're going to nymph up this run and see what we can see. Yep, decent brown. When you're fighting a big fish, it's really important not to go too hard at the end. You don't want to rush it once you see it and try and get it into the net. Take your time, get its head up, extend your arms, and if it goes for it, just let it have a bit more. When you're netting a fish by yourself, it's really important to keep your arms well spread. Don't want to high stick it. And just get its head up and lead it into the net. Ooh, not quite. You want to swing its head up. In the net. This is actually a really big fish. That's one of my best brown trout for the season. Look at that thing. Fantastic. Well, we've just been indicator fishing up this run here with 2 nymphs, and to finish it off, we've pulled this fantastic brown. One of my best for the season. We'll send him home. See you, buddy. Off he goes. Just goes to show, if you fish really thoroughly with indicators, not only can you get really good numbers of fish, but you can get quality fish like that too.